Mr. Navarro. My first name is Miguel. You could call me Mr. M, Mr. Miguel, Mr. Navarro. If you do Mr. Navarro, I'm gonna think my dad's behind me or someone, so it's just one of those things, or my uncle, something like that. So Mr. Miguel or Mr. M is fine. I'm an intern from San Diego State. My graduate program is school counseling. So my goal is to be as great as the counselors are here at Olympian, right? Yes. Great counselors at Olympian. So my goal is to be a counselor when I graduate, which is in May. So I'm almost there. It's around the corner. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. So I'll be working with you guys, or here with students at Olympian for the remainder of the school year. So if you ever want to come by, I'm in the College Center. Me and Ms. Hernandez are both there and available. My schedule and her schedule is up in the College Center, so you can see it. I'm here Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays. But next semester it might change depending on my classes. But I'll be here to just work with students. We can talk about academics, we can talk about social stuff, personal stuff, whatever you want to talk about. It doesn't have to necessarily pertain to school or anything like that, homework or whatever. It could be anything. It could be about movies, music, personal stuff, anything. All right, so I want you guys to feel comfortable to do that, to come see me. Real quickly, I was born and raised in San Diego. I mostly lived my whole life in San Ysidro, and then I moved to Chula Vista. Believe it or not, I was at East Lake High School at your age, around this time, and that was the only high school at that time. And it was only that, the Bonds, and the McDonald's. So I'm not that old, right? There's like nothing, no houses, no, this was still all farmland, cows, horses, a lot of grass. So I'm not that old, right? They're probably gonna ask me, someone's gonna ask me. So yeah, so I went to East Lake and then I transferred, went back to Southwest High School because I got bored because I just couldn't be out here in the middle of nowhere. And so I went to Southwest and I graduated from Southwest. At that time, yes. The middle school I went to was San Ysidro Middle. So that's where I went to elementary school down in San Ysidro at Sunset Elementary, and then I went to San Ysidro Middle after that. High school just for a semester, and then I went to Southwest. So that's where I'm from. And then I worked for a long period of time. I tried out college. It didn't work out for me the first year. So what I did was I got involved with a lot of money, and I said I wanted to work, so I wanted to earn money. And I worked for about 11 years. I had some pretty decent jobs. I worked at Costco, I worked for the San Diego Padres, and front office actually. So I worked my way up to get in the front office. That was pretty cool. And I did that for about 11 years, both jobs. And I finally decided that was gonna be my career, but because I wasn't grounded in an educational background, and I have like a bachelor's degree like most of my colleagues, it was easy for me to get booted out. And so at Petco Park at the Padres, that's what happened. I lost my job. And so that came out with the turning events of just kind of being bummed out a little bit, so that affected my job at Costco, so I lost that one. So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do now? And I had to start all over again. So I got a job at Ralph's, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go back to school. Because it was always in the back of my head to finish. I wanted to do that. And I had a different ambition. I had different, I was inspired by a lot of things. I wanted to do more. So I went back to school. I went to Southwestern, and I did 2 years at Southwestern. It was really quick. It went by really fast. And I graduated, transferred to San Diego State, did 2 years at San Diego State. That was really quick, my undergrad, and now I just fell into my graduate program. So it happened really fast, but that's because I was motivated. I was a different person. I wanted something more. I had a self-efficacy, so it was like a little bit more ambition. And so I wish that, of course, you would go back to the first time, the beginning, and say, you know what, kick yourself in the butt and just finish, because it went by really fast. And I wish I would have gone back right out of high school, but that didn't happen, so everything happens for a reason. But education gave me a lot of opportunity, and so that's why I want to become a counselor, to motivate you guys to really accomplish a lot more after high school. That there's more opportunity out there than just work. Okay, there's travel, there's further education, there's a career that you can choose in a profession. So that's something, the reason why I want to be a counselor. So we're gonna go into the presentation. Any questions about me? That was a lot right there. So today we're gonna go into bullying. Just kind of think of it as like a refresher from the assembly that you guys had a couple weeks ago about the cyberbullying with Ms. Rodriguez and her peer mediators. So just think of it, it's somewhat similar, it has the same ideas, but it's also different. So just think of it as a refresher. So, we're gonna go off some things, but ours is a little bit different. So today we're gonna cover statistics, what is bullying, different types of bullying, expectations and consequences, what to do if students are being bullied, who are the bullies, reporting, policies that are lived in, and activity perspectives, activity and then perspectives on cyberbullying. So, according to research, who wants to read the first bullet point? Tell me your name. Jeremy. Go ahead and read the first one. At Olympia.
At Olympia in 2014 to 2015, 42% of 9th graders and 30% of 11th graders experienced some type of harassment or bullying.
Okay, so this was last year. So the 9th graders are sophomores now, and the 11th graders are seniors. Would you guys agree that, or disagree that that's a high percentage?
Yeah.
Right? So that's something that you want to really address to, and this is the reason why Ms. Rodriguez does her thing. This is why there's peer mediators, and this is why we're doing the presentation today with you guys. Okay? Who wants to read the second one for me? Tell me your name. Abraham.
35% of 9th graders and 34% of 11th graders felt they had mean, rumored, or widespread harassment.
Okay, so annually, what your school has is the California Healthy Kids Survey. In administration terms, it's called the CHICS data. So with CHICS, what we do is what it is pretty much an annual survey that is built on resiliency, and it helps to prevent, it helps to protect certain factors, and really it's the voice of the students. So we administer this test yearly to you guys, and you guys share your opinions and your experiences at school. And then what we do as administrators is try to create programs. We try to bring in preventions, and we try to bring in improvements. So, to help, you guys have that positive experience while here at Olympian. So it's kind of like your guys' voice. So when you guys take the test and you guys put down, your answers to your questions, then what we're doing is we're kind of just building off of that to better improve the school, to better improve your experience here at Olympian. So it is a big deal. We take it very seriously, and that's something, the reason why, again, we're doing this, and why there's always like a lot of things, prevention things that are going on, and assemblies and things that we address, important things to talk about. Who wants to read in the U.S.? So that bullet point, who would like to read that for me? And your name?
Ellen,
Ah.
in the U.S., 1 out of every 4 children will be bullied in school this month, according to the U.S. Department of Justice.
And the next one. Jeremy, you already went. It's okay. We're gonna choose someone else. Everyone's gonna get to speak today. Yes.
Bullying talks to nurse triggers, leading childhood suicide attempts.
Okay, so are you guys aware of kind of like you guys see on TV or the news when someone's affected by bullying or cyberbullying? They have certain experiences, and a lot of it leads to to this on the bottom. Are you guys knowledgeable of that? Was that something that, I didn't stay for the full assembly, but was that something that was addressed at the assembly in any way? No, it wasn't talked about or anything like that? Okay, that's fine. So it is something that gets triggered, because sometimes it's hard to, address something like that, or to feel something like that, if someone talking about you and then putting it out there like on social media. It's a big deal, right? Now, can anyone tell me, you don't have to tell me, raise your hand if you know someone or you've seen it happen personally in your social media experience. Yeah, bullied, those being bullied, others. Okay, so somewhat, okay, half and half or something like that. Okay, cool. So it does, yeah. So, what is bullying? Who can read down for me? Yes. Go.
Power imbalance between the bully and the one being bullied.
Okay, and the next one? Intent to cause harm. Next. Yes.
Against someone considering them powerful.
Okay, and the last one.
Behavior repeated over time.
Yeah. So bullying is pretty much like, these are like personalities, individuals, before that they go out there and do that. So they can be identified in some ways. They could be, like, an intent to cause harm against someone who's considered as powerful. So you're thinking like, okay, this big person, but it could be anybody. It's not just this intimidating person. It could be anybody. So I want you guys to definitely keep that in mind. So, okay. So bullying takes many forms: physical, emotional, psychological, verbal, sexual, and then cyberbullying, which is the big one. Okay, because now that technology has advanced itself, it pretty much has just developed into this new form of type of bullying. Because before, we used to pass notes around class and talk about people, or we used to post them along the locker. Sorry, coming off cough. So it's
No worries.
So yeah.
The show gets used to it after 2 years.
There you go, see? So yeah. So it happens. Back in the day, it was written on lockers, passing notes, whispers, groups, we just talk about other groups or other individuals, things like that. You walk around and you slap a poster on someone's back, and they walk around not even knowing that they had that the whole day or something like that. So things like that. And then, that pretty much, but now with technology, cyberbullying does that. All right, who are the bullies? Who wants to read that?
Bullies come from various ethnic, cultural, or religious groups.
Yes. Next one. Yes.
Cyberbullies exist as well.
Uh-huh. And the last one.
Not distinguished by physical appearance or who they are, but how they are treating others.
So again, like I talked about earlier, the misconception is about this big guy or a big person or whatever, is picking on the little person. It could be anybody now. And we're gonna go into that a little bit further, but it could be your neighbors, it could be other individuals. Believe it or not, it happens. One thing I've experienced is like your friends, because they want to be cool with another group, so then they start something. And they'll share something about you just to make themselves look good. So it does happen that way, and it does happen in a lot of ways, that way. So those are the things that it's not just the big guy on campus. So, who can be targeted? Anyone, right? It could be the football player, it could be the smart people, it could be the cheerleaders, the cool people, whoever. Yeah. Is Yeah, cheerleaders, yeah. Not even tell